and due to that the requirement of more number of multiplications and additions, we are in need of another improvised or advanced algorithm that is called fast Fourier transform, and it is been formed by Cooley and Turkey. The both scientists have formed this fast Fourier algorithm, and it is purely based on the concept called divide and conquer. So divide and conquer. So what we are going to do is we are going to divide the number of we are going to just make a division on the total number of lengths. So the division is, we can say that division is nothing but decimation. So that we are having two decimations. So the two algorithms are being named as decimation in time and decimation in frequency, DIT and DIF. So this is the general formula for DFT, and we all know if we are going to expand this sequence, what we are going to do is if we are going to expand the number of inputs starting from 0 to n minus 1, we will be having n number of inputs, right? And now what we are going to do is, now we are going to split these inputs into an even and odd sequences. So we can write this in general, the even terms as 2n and odd term as 2n plus 1. So if we are going to substitute the value of n starting from 0 till n minus 1 only with even numbers, we can get this general form. Likewise for odd numbers, so for even 2n, for odd 2n plus 1. So we have separated this number of inputs into two parts, even and odd sequences. So in now what we are going to do is, now we are as per the split up in the input sequences into odd and even, we are writing this general form into two split ups, into two terms. So one with even and another one with odd number. So the given input is having n number of length, but now what we have done is we have splitted this n sequence into two equal halves. So the length is going to get varied. So in previous case we are having n 0 to n minus 1, but whereas here we are having only two halves of the n. So we can write this limit as n by 2 minus 1 and n by 2 minus 1. Okay, so and here we are, instead of n we are having 2n, and here instead of n we are having 2n plus 1. So this is a change we have done in equation number 1. So now we'll see the variations in the twiddle factor. Here in first term we are having the twiddle factor as w suffix n power 2nk, and we all know w suffix n power nk as e power minus j 2 pi by n into nk, and we are having extra 2 over here, right? So we can write these 2 as n by 2. So we are not having both are sense the same meaning, right? So we are having n, we can write this as n by 2. So now we can write this in the form of twiddle factor as w power nk suffix n by 2. So if we are having e power minus j 2 pi by n, we can write it as n suffix w suffix n. If suppose if you are having n by 2, we can write it as w suffix n by 2. So that's the difference. So likewise for the second term, the twiddle factor is having 2n plus 1 power k into k, and we can split the powers, and we can get wn power k into wn power 2n, and if into k, and we can write again we can write this as n by 2. Okay, likewise we can write this. Okay, and after by replacing the entire term by this one, we can get these equations. So now we can give a name for this even sequence as y of k and odd sequence as z of k, and in addition to that odd sequence we are having a constant term, that is wnk, twiddle factor. Okay, so this equation is very important. So what we have done is we are taking the general equation of DFT and we are splitting that into odd and even sequences. For in general we can write even sequence as x of 2n and odd as x of 2n plus 1. And now we are doing some changes in the twiddle factor with respect to the variations in the length, because we have varied the length. So we have splitted this, since we have splitted the sequence into two halves, we are doing the variations in the limits also, particularly in upper limit. Okay, and due to that variation in length we are doing some variations in the twiddle factor, and after replacing those variations in the twiddle factor we are giving a general name. For even term as y of k and odd term as z of k, and in addition to that we are having one more constant, that is twiddle factor only with odd sequence. So this equation is very important for solving numerical problems. So now what we are going to do is, so far we have found this sequence, right? So now what we are going to do is we are going to apply periodicity and symmetry property to the sequences. So so far we have this is a split up in the equations, right? So if suppose if we are going to add a periodicity and symmetry property, it means if we are going to repeat with some regular intervals, the sequence has to repeat after some regular regular intervals, that is called repetition after irregular intervals, that is periodicity. So we are having regular interval as n by 2. Okay, so here the value of k as k plus n by 2. So now we are going to replace all the values as k plus n by 2, k plus n by 2, and again we have to found the twiddle factor, variations in the twiddle factor as per the symmetry, I mean repeated intervals, inclusion of repeated intervals. So here we are having wn, for this one we are having wn k plus n by 2. Suppose if we are going to add only the interval with the k and we are not doing any variations in the length, so what will happen, we can expand this one and we can at last we can arrive at this output as minus wnk. So if you are going to do variation only in the k value, we can say that as a symmetry property. So if we are having a symmetry, we can say the formula is w minus wn power k. And likewise now what we are going to do is we are going to do a periodicity. It means we are going to do some variations in the length. Okay, so if we are going to do some variation in length, for that expansion we at last will be arriving at the output as w power k suffix n by 2. This is the periodicity value. So for symmetry we are having minus wn power k, and for periodicity w suffix n by 2 power k. So this is the periodicity. Now what we are going to do is we are going to include this periodicity and symmetry in the equation number 3. So after including this periodicity and symmetry in equation number 3, so we can give a name for this first term as y of k, and here in equation number 3 we had wn power k, right? So we are having this as even sequence as y of k and odd sequence as z of k. So by symmetry property we can write this wn power k as minus wn power k. So that's the difference. Okay, so this is equation number 2. So equation number 4. So these two equations are very important for solving numerical problems. Okay, so now we'll see the differences in the periodicity and symmetry. So we all know this representation of twiddle factor, magnitude and phase representation. So we have to start from here, and till if we are going to consider 8 points, we have to end up with the same starting point. Okay, the finishing and starting point will be same for the graphical representation of twiddle factor, and we all know that. So now we have to check for the symmetry and periodicity. So consider that this is the general formulas for symmetry and periodicity. So if you are going to do changes in the value of k, that is symmetry, and if you are going to do changes in the length, we can say that is a periodicity. So these are the formulas. So let us check these equations, formula with some numerical examples. So here we are having Wn power k plus 4. So we can say this as a symmetry property, because we are having variation only in the power k, right? So we can write this as a Wn power k. So the n value of n is 8, and for the second equation we are having Wn power k plus 8. Here we can say we are telling that as a periodic property, Wn power k. So the only clue, that hint we can get from this is, if you are having a same number in both prefix and suffix, in prime as well as in suffix, we can say it is a periodicity. If not, we can say it is a symmetry. Here we are having suffix as 8, right? So if you are having the same number in the power, we can say it is a periodicity. If not, we can say that as a symmetry value. Okay. So now, so far we have found two equations. For the starting equation is having a plus, and the last, after a repetition, we are having a minus. So far we have found the two equations. The only thing is we require is y of k and z of k, and then we, of course, we need real factors. So once if you find these values, we can just make a addition of these two and subtraction of this between these two. So the calculation is very easy while comparing with DFT in FFT. Okay, and but the main thing is the calculation is been reduced from 0 to n minus 1 to 0 to n by 2 to minus 1, because we have splitted these sequences into two halves, right? So the total sequence length will be from 0 to n by 2 minus 1. Instead of n minus 1, here we are having n by 2 minus 1. So we have reduced half of the manipulations in the FFT. So this is the plus in FFT while comparing with DFT. So again, what we can do is, either if you want to again divide this one, if you want to again decimate these equations, we can split up these equations with respect to the length. So first what we have done is, we have splitted the total length into two equal halves. Now the total length is n by 2. So if you want to divide that sequence into further, we can divide that n by 2 length into two equal halves. So we will be having that limit as n by 4. So in the after next decimations, the same equations will be followed, and the only change is in the value of total length. So instead of n by 2, we have splitted this into 2. So we will be having the total length as n by 4. So that's the only difference. And if you want to divide this, if you want to divide or decimate further, we can divide the sequences again into two equal halves. So we can do such divisions until we reach the value 2. So we can, up to 2 points we can divide this sequence. Okay. So we can say this, all these FFT algorithms are based on the 2-point DFT. So if this base is 2, so the base point is 2, so we can say this base point also as radix. So radix or base point is 2. So we can in this unit, we are going to focus only on this 2-point radix algorithm, and we are going to do some numerical calculations based on that radix point 2. It is base point 2. Okay. The formation for FFT algorithm and the reason for obtaining FFT algorithm, because in this we have reduced the performance of DFT into exact half. Okay, and we have reduced the computation time and the number of steps required to achieve find some discrete frequency values. And we can do such divisions and find the calculations up to we reach the total length by 2. So we can say this all these formation of FFT is based on the equal halves of the length. So the equal half is we are dividing by 2. So the base point is 2. So the another name for base point is radix. So radix or base point is 2. So in this unit we are going to discuss mainly on the base point or radix to FFT algorithms. So in next video we'll see the rest of the FFT algorithms. Thank you.